Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey.
How's it going?
And the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, Dan?
And joining us tonight, special guest, the Lord of Prose, Chatmort.
Haha, I too am here.
Hey, welcome back, Chatmort.
Thank you. It's been a while. I think it's been since my birthday, which is
It has been quite a while, yeah.
6 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was cooking up the thumbnail, I thought, let's see, I already used Weibo in the other one. How many other blonde YouTubers do I know? Oh, yeah. And now she's got like a cartoon avatar. I can use that, right? It's okay. I can use that, right? You're like, yeah, sure. Okay. So I thought it was just fitting to have you on to a show whose theme is probably only relevant to some 20% of our audience.
Yeah.
But I don't care because it's relevant to me. Night Court. And not by design with all the stuff going on today. It's at least tangentially relevant, sort of, kind of, at least in theme. But otherwise, hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good day. Having a good Tuesday so far and a good week so far. Thank you, tall person, before the stream. Happy Donald Duck Day, everyone. Donald Duck's first appearance on screen was in the animated short film The Wise Hen on June 9th, 1934.
Damn.
Wow.
Had a great cousin, as in, like, I mean, I don't know if he was a great guy or anything. Anyway, his name was Donald, and so his favorite character was Donald. He had Donald Duck stuff all over his house. And I think I found out more about Donald Duck just like going to visit his house than any other instance. I don't know if you'd ever learned that much about Donald Duck, but he had memorabilia that probably is worth something now. I should call him.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So how are you guys doing? How are you, Monkey?
Not too bad. Just got a kind of froggy voice because, talking too much. So otherwise, I'm well, thanks.
Yep, I saw you were talking quite a bit today, so at least you'll have some cushioning with all of us here, so you don't have to talk too much. Unless you get angry.
Shut the fuck up.
No. I don't want him to strain his voice. He's got like 5 different shows he does a day now, so you know. And Satsu, how are you?
Pretty good. Not a lot to report other than the fact that Squeedus has heavily picked up on the whole tantrum thing now since she came from my sister's house, which is super fun.
Yeah. What is your favorite thing to tantrum over?
Literally anything. Like if she's trying to get to something and you stop her from getting to said thing, she will literally just throw herself back. If you pick her up by surprise and she doesn't see you coming, she'll like lose her shit temporarily for a second. Like, whoa, what the fuck? I'm just like, and it's so funny too because she is so obviously faking. Like it's so blatantly like just bullshit. I'm just like, girl, please cut it out.
She's learning. She's learning how to manipulate you or try to.
Oh, it ain't working. It works on her mom sometimes, but don't work on me. She just be mad.
Thank you, been called the Driving Ape Man, for the tired drink coffee thing. I'm a little bit tired. We'll get to me in a second, though. But Chat Mort, how are you?
I am pretty good.
How are the fur babies?
They're good. They're pretty happy. They like that the significant other and I have been home a lot. They're very pleased with that. So
Don't leave us.
Yeah.
We're so lonely. Need attention. As for myself, it was a relatively sedate workday, but it was long and involved and very tedious and lots of stuff to numb my brain. So in that sense, it was a little bit taxing. That's a good word for it, taxing. As well as the events of the day, but we'll get to those in a second after Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and many of you haven't, because, you know, that's tradition. And please share our stuff. All of us here have stuff of one sort or another to share of the YouTube variety. I can't speak to anything else going on in personal lives, but hey, you never know. Who knows how deep we'll get into our psyches tonight, depending on where we go with things. Anything else to mention and or plug and or that I forgot before we get into the schnuzz?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Well then, not exactly, I guess, earth-shattering news, but very disappointing and slightly, maybe more than slightly infuriating news to me. Cops has been canceled. Live PD is under consideration for also getting the axe. Now, the reason I bring this up first and foremost is because, one, I just found out about this about 15 minutes ago. But more importantly, cops has been a part of my family tradition forever. Like for most of my life. My father, back very long ago in the 60s or whatever, he was a police officer. And so when Cops came on, it was one of his favorite shows, and we always watch it. Like every Saturday, it was like a family ritual. We'd sit down and watch the episode of Cops, or if they had a back-to-back. And then, after my parents retired, every time we go to visit, there's like almost every weekend, there is some marathon of Cops. Or now Live PD, which is just sort of like Cops on steroids, more or less. And we would sit down and have to spend some time, whether it's on Thanksgiving or Christmas or something, watching a Cops marathon. And now, after 32 years on the air, one of the longest running reality shows ever, or documentary shows ever, it canceled because police officers are now verboten. Police officers, the concept thereof, anything that might quote unquote glorify them or elevate their visibility to the world is now an evil that cannot be tolerated, apparently. They're talking about no longer producing any shows that deal with police officers or any crime dramas or anything that has police officers in them because stupid.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it makes sense because a lot of Cops showcases interactions that are very peaceful and professional. And it's not always the right racial makeup of people getting arrested and people doing the arresting. So I can see why that would kind of be a threat to some people, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't go along with the narrative that all police are evil and all police need to be defunded and abolished, et cetera, et cetera. But the giving into it as quickly as this is, so reactionary, just so poisonous. It just, it's like surrendering to the worst possible interpretation. What happened? And I understand that not everybody's all harps and halos. I get that, but what happened to the whole like first responders thing? What happened to, the people who go in first to put their lives on the line every day, who rush into the fire, who rush into the gunfire and so on to protect other people's lives? Now that position in our society is now villainous.
Well, they only get there so fast because they're hoping there's some black people to kill.
Oh, boy. Thank you. This is Kyle. Hello, chat people. Lawton and Chatmort. Hello, Kyle. Thank you so much. I mean, there's not much for me to say about that story, except that it's been canceled. It just says, Cops' 6-year run on a Paramount network and its predecessor has come to an end. Pulled earlier this month in the aftermath of George Floyd's death, the series will not be coming back. Quote, Cops is not on the Paramount network, and we don't have any current or future plans for it to return, a Paramount network spokesperson said in a statement to Deadline. The long-running Cops premiered on Fox in 1989 and aired for 25 seasons. The show was resurrected in 2013 when Spike TV ordered new episodes. Spike TV rebranded as Paramount Network in 2018, with the docuseries carried over to the new network. Cops, whose 33rd season was slated to premiere yesterday, has been off the air since June 1st when it was pulled with no plans to run any additional episodes. Paramount Network has been moving away from all unscripted programming. A&E on June 5th pulled last weekend's episodes of its hit docuseries Live PD amid continued nationwide protests over Floyd's death. The network is still evaluating the right time to bring it back, though a return this weekend appears unlikely at the moment. Yeah. Thank you, Alpha Omega. Celebrate National Donald Duck Day. We are. Yay, Donald Duck.
Yay. Gracious.
That's as best as I can do. Thank you, Snubberth. Scribe, misery loves company, so deny the police for everyone, you bigot. Yeah. It just... Anyway, I tweeted. I texted my sister as soon as I found out, and I'm like, they've canceled Cops. And she's like, I know. And I said, this is reactionary bullshit. And she says, I don't disagree. I was like, Live PD. Anyway, that just sticks in my craw, as it were. As another event of irritation, tonight's just like the first couple stories are Scribe being irritated at things that have happened in the last 24, 48 hours. So I haven't watched the Flash TV show. I think I stopped after the 3rd season, thereabouts. it just kind of got too repetitive for me. It's still fun. It's still a fun show. I still enjoyed it. Just kind of like, they all start melding together. But when I saw a story this afternoon that said the Flash actor fired for offensive tweets, I was like, every time I see something where it says, insert movie or TV show here, actor, it's usually someone who's like they were on an episode, or it's the most significant thing they've done in their career in the last 10 years or something, and that's how high profile they are. Well, no, in this instance, you've got somebody who was effectively a main character, at least after the second or third season. Now, I didn't know the guy's name. I knew the character he played. Hartley Sawyer fired from The Flash due to offensive tweets. Resurfaced. Now, it's not resurfaced. It's archaeologied. It's recovered. It's searched for. It's dug up. They only resurfaced because someone got a shovel. Resurfaced old tweets allegedly posted by actor Hartley Sawyer prior to joining the CW series The Flash. You know how much prior? Okay, 2009, 2012. That's how far back these things went. Have resulted in him being fired. Hartley Sawyer will not be returning for season 7 of The Flash, said a statement from the CW, producers Warner Brothers TV and Berlanti Productions, and executive producer Eric Wallace released on Monday. Read. Okay. In regards to Mr. Sawyer's posts on social media, we do not tolerate derogatory remarks that target any race, ethnicity, national origin, gender, or sexual orientation. Such remarks are antithetical to our values and policies, which strive and evolve to promote a safe, inclusive, and productive environment for our workforce.
But we have for 6 whole seasons.
Exactly. I was like, this guy was such poison in the way that he behaved professionally, in the way that he contributed to the show, in the way he interacted with his co-stars. And under the current environment, if that guy had stepped out of line in any way, shape, or form, especially at a production company that has already made moves to really tramp down on anything that could be construed as bad or inappropriate, this guy would have been gone a long time ago. But now, all of a sudden, he's toxic because he said something, and I don't even know what it is because it's been deleted by now, but he apparently said something that went against the narrative of Black Lives Matter is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And so someone decided to dive into his Twitter account to find 11 or 12-year-old tweets or what the hell it is, and bring them up and, look at this. Look how terrible this person is now. Just now, yeah. Thank you, Angry Aloysian. Hey, Scribe, some members of Congress and the new people of Voice like to forget 9/11 ever happened. Well, could have fooled me. They bring it up plenty of times anyway, but anyway, I was saying before the show, on a lot of the TEDx's I've watched recently with restorative justice and things and other things I've seen in the past, the old adage is, should someone be judged on their worst mistake? Should entire life be completely cast aside because of one mistake? Now, of course, context matters, depends on what that mistake was. If it's like you genocided an entire population, yeah, probably. But if you broke into cars, if you had Grand Theft Auto on your record from 20 years ago, but you've lived a completely straight life since then, should you be tarnished forever because of that mistake? No, I don't think so. Especially if you served your time in the whole 9 yards. But a guy who, like I said, up until these tweets that no one, they were there for anyone to see. No one brought them up before. He obviously hasn't done anything in the past 6 seasons or whatever to cause any suspicion of his ability or his value or anything else. Now he's done. And his career is probably shot in the foot for at least, I don't know, a couple of years if he decides to continue acting, if he's allowed to, essentially. And he has to apologize. He already, of course, apologized. Because what other option does he have but to apologize, right?
I just don't understand what's so hard about, hey, we spotted this thing. What are your views on that now? Yeah, I was stupid and dumb back then. My opinions have changed. This is how I feel now. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or he could have just been like, I still feel the same way. Fuck him. Whatever. But it seems like that's a much better solution than just straight up. Yeah, you said this thing, an undisclosed amount of years ago. So yeah, everything in your life has to be ruined now. Yeah, it's weird.
I'm very curious what he said, and I know you said it doesn't say there, but to me, that would definitely at least play a part.
Well, so what he said about Black Lives Matter, I don't know. But here are the tweets that have been brought up. Okay, so this one doesn't have a date on it, but they're all like there's 2013, 2012, 2009. The first one reads, "The saddest part about someone committing suicide is that they will never listen to David Bowie again."
What? Oh, okay.
This is from 2012. "Date rape myself so I don't have to masturbate."
Okay.
This is from 2013. "Super Bowl, America. 80% of the prison population is African American." I think he was actually criticizing the incarceration rate there. I could be wrong. I think that was supposed to be sarcastic. Let's see. This one's from 2009. "Just kidding. I don't care. And fags are fine, but sports often make me snore." And he was responding to somebody about something, and I don't have any context for what he was saying, but he used the F word.
Oh, no.
Let's see. Another one from 2014. "Out at dinner and just exposed myself as a racist again." Capital letters, which I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Let's see. From Undated. "The only thing stopping me from doing mildly racist tweets is the knowledge that Al Sharpton would never stop complaining about me."
I'm still waiting for the really horrible thing.
Right.
Next one says, another also Undated. If I had a wife, I would beat the hell out of her tonight. LOL.
I mean that.
All right.
that one might be.
That's a little. I mean, again, not knowing what the context was, but yeah, okay, sure. For another 2005 or 2012? No, 2012. "As a lad, one of my favorite activities was kidnapping homeless women and cutting off their breasts."
Damn. Well,
Obviously true. Let's see. 2014. I think I could work in a tit factory and be pretty happy."
same. What's the problem?
And lastly, "Enjoyed a secret boob viewing at an audition today." From 2014.
Okay. That sounds creepy.
But okay, so that's those tweets, and this is all quote unquote exposed by Sky Jackson, who's becoming a more consistent appearance in my feed the last several days. Who is I think she's an actress or something. But anyway, so yeah, does that make him persona non grata? I don't know. I don't think it should, but hey, I guess it doesn't matter. Thank you, Chicago Mike. "I thought we got rid of McCarthyism in the 50s. No.
Nope.
But we have a birthday. Oh, sorry. Thank you also, Sir Wolfgang. That jumped by me. "No one ever expects the Progressive Inquisition." These days, I do. I pretty much do at this point. It's just part of our makeup now. But
ability.
It is Robert Lapine's birthday.
Lapine,
if I'm saying that correctly. Lapine?
Robert, it's your birthday, and around here we do this. This one's for you, and a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Lapine, huh?
Happy birthday to you.
I don't know about that one.
Happy birthday, dear Robert.
I mean, happy birthday, but you know. Sweet.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Robert. I hope you had a good one.
Now, I think there was another one in here, but I missed it, I think, or it jumped in the interim of my ranting. So if I missed a birthday announcement, be sure to put it in there again. Let's see, what else? Well, if you can believe it, there was some controversy over a Miss Hitler pageant entrant.
Oh. Huh.
Apparently, this is a thing that happens. A former Miss Hitler pageant entrant and her partner have been jailed in the UK for belonging to the extreme right-wing neo-Nazi group National Action. If you can believe it. A Miss Hitler entrant.
Odd.
Wow.
Tuesday's sentencing comes after Alice Cutter, 24, and her partner, Mark Jones, 25, were convicted of membership of a terrorist group at a trial in March alongside Gary Jack, 24, and Connor Scothern, 19, West Midlands police said in a statement. National Action became the first far-right group to be banned under Britain's terror laws in December of 2016. It is a criminal offense in the UK to be a member of the organization, which has been described by the country's Home Office as, quote, virulently racist, anti-Semitic, and homophobic, unquote. According to police, the four became members of the neo-Nazi group and met regularly to share their extreme ideology and attend demonstrations. When the organization was banned, police noted that the group held secret meetings to discuss their ambitions for a race war, recruited young people to the group, and shared, quote, intensely shocking, unquote, images mocking the Holocaust and glorifying Hitler. In a neo-Nazi group?
No.
You don't say. At sentencing on Tuesday, Cutter and Jones were jailed for 3 years and 5... Wait. Were jailed for 3 years and 5.5 years, respectively. Okay. While Jack received a 4.5-year sentence and Scothern 18 months. Another man, Daniel Ward, 29, pleaded guilty at a previous court hearing and was jailed for 3 years last July.
Wow.
Cutter, who entered the Miss Hitler beauty competition as Miss Buchenwald, oh boy, denied being a member of the group despite attending rallies where banners reading Hitler was right were raised, PA News Agency reported. Judge Paul Ferrer, QC, Queen's Court, I'm assuming, told Cutter that while she did not hold an organizational or leadership role in the group, she was a, quote, trusted confidant of one of the group's leaders, as well as being in a committed relationship with Jones. Thank you, Ex-Bubba Hotep. What a twist. Yeah, imagine that. A neo-Nazi group, they deny the Holocaust and venerate Hitler. Ooh. Another monitoring, thank you. Doesn't SPLC use the same description for Shapiro? Ooh. Did we had another birthday, didn't we? I thought there was one. Maybe I'm mistaken. If we do, be sure to put plenty of like birthday cakes around it or something so I can catch it in the chat. A crime to be a part of a group. This is one of those things where I'm kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not productive to criminalize thought like that. You just drive it underground because, like they said, they have secret meetings. They're planning on doing horrible things. I don't know. Free assembly, even of people that I find detestable, is still free assembly, or should be.
Maybe in America.
I don't know. That doesn't sound like a smart path to go down. But then the UK has been doing some really screwy things with their laws lately and their policies on freedom of speech and everything else. So, Miss Hitler. Oh boy. Let's see. And thank you, Nicholas Daly. Here about Seattle. What part? I've heard a lot of things about Seattle lately, like the city council was calling on the mayor to resign, which is the same city council that is like even. I guess the city council is now more left than the mayor, who was left in the first place by tweeting out that like all the trouble with the riots is white people. Thank you, John Miller. It wasn't crime by association a 1984 thing. Frickin' Brits. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Let's see. And then the last one I had pulled up. Thank you, Blake Becker. Really quick, Sinatra has never read or seen any of the Lord of the Rings, so I want to tilt my head back and laugh at him. I've never read any of the books. I've seen all the movies. I was never that kind of nerd. Seattle has fallen. Capitol Hill, but like in DC?
I don't know. I did see something where, well, that'll be at fucketry time, but they were like sectioning off places of the city. Or something.
Right. I mean, that's right. Hold on. I made a joke. Jim Heelis posted it, I think. And hold on. Yeah, that's right. I did make a joke about that. I forgot that it was Seattle. It was just.
I didn't know where it was. I just remember seeing something like that.
Yeah, my joke was something effective. People are LARPing the Division.
Yeah. It's getting interesting out there, guys.
Well, it's somewhere in my feed. Okay, we'll look it up later. But the last story I wanted to do. Oh, and thank you, Toxic Nightshade, for the Hippo 1-up. Extra life. I'm getting a life. So CNN posted this one. I was curious to see what it had to say. This city disbanded its police department 7 years ago. Here's what happened next.
You know what? I took a peek into this one, and they used the word disbanded, but I don't think they know what that word is.
Well, let's find out. Last week, Minneapolis officials confirmed they were considering a fairly rare course of action, disbanding the city police department. Except if you read what they actually said, it didn't say like remove it completely. They were talking about like reallocating resources and reform, and
that's the point I'm trying to make here.
Yeah,
I don't think they know what words mean.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not the first locale to break up a department, but no cities as populous have ever attempted it. Right. Minneapolis City Council members haven't specified what or who will replace it if the department disbands. Well, I've heard the theories several times over the years. They haven't changed much. But yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Camden, New Jersey may be the closest thing to a case study they can get. Okay. The city, home to a population about 17% of Minneapolis's size, right, okay, dissolved its police department in 2012 and replaced it with an entirely new one. Wait.
This is what I was talking about.
Yeah. We're barely 2 paragraphs in. Okay. And replaced it with an entirely new one after corruption rendered the existing agency unfixable. Okay, so you did a purge of corrupt cops and you got better cops.
So it sounds like, yeah.
Okay, I can understand that. Before its police reforms, no, you didn't say reforms. You said this city disbanded its police department. No, it just replaced it.
Yeah, dude, they don't know what words mean. These people write words for a living, and they don't know what they mean.
Yeah.
Before its police reforms, Camden was routinely named one of the most violent cities in the U.S. Now, 7 years after the old department was booted, though around 100 officers were rehired, the city's crime has dropped by close to half. Oh my God, you mean having honest cops operating in your city could conceivably make it better? Oh, my God. Is that something we can all just totally disagree? No. That's what? So you still have a police department?
Yes.
You brought back 100 officers. I'm guessing you vetted and made sure that they weren't part of the problem to begin with, hopefully. And so, there's an old sort of logic puzzle. I think it's called Theseus's boat. You ever hear of the Theseus's boat logic problem?
No.
Or was it more? I guess it's more of a philosophical problem. So Theseus has a boat, and it's his own boat. He made it with his own 2 hands. And over the years, he's had to replace the slats of the boat because they rot out, they get old, that kind of thing, get holes in that kind of thing. And then the boat has passed on to other people over the course of time. And over the course of time, the boat has to be repaired, slats replaced. At a certain point, there's nothing left of the original boat. Is it still Theseus's boat? Yeah, so it just came to mind when it's like, we're replacing the entire police department. It's no longer a police department. We got 100 officers back from the old police department. Is it really a disbanded police department? Sorry, I know it's a little bit abstract, but that's just what occurred to me.
Yeah.
It's just so, like I'm reading this and I'm just like I don't think they know what these words mean.
A city's decision to dissolve its police department is often a matter of money, and the cities that chose to do so are often quite small. Camden comes closest to Minneapolis in its size and history of misconduct. Was the Minneapolis Police Department entirely corrupt? I don't know. I don't know what their record is. Honestly, I have no idea.
Well, I mean, they stated that there was a significant amount of crime that was going on for some time there, which is why they felt they need to do this anyway. So I'm assuming there was enough of it for them to make this decision.
Earlier this year, the village of Deposit, the village's name is Deposit. Okay, Deposit, New York, dissolved its department because it cost $200,000 per year. Now a single sheriff's deputy is assigned to the village. Now it's a village. Garden City, Missouri laid off all of its officers and suspended its police chief because, as its mayor said in 2018, the city couldn't afford to keep them employed. Well, that's a completely different set of circumstances for disbanding a police department.
Yeah, that is night and day. That's drastically different.
And Camden didn't. It just did a cleansing, and then it built up a new police department out of the old one.
Yep.
So Camden isn't operating in the absence of police, which is what the title of this article seemed to imply. So
yeah.
we don't. So basically, as far as I can tell, they can find no examples of any city of reasonable size ever disbanding its department over ideological conflict.
Yeah, it's so weird too, because like if you lay this out for them in any other scenario, like Target just decided to do away with ACs in the store. It's like, oh really? No more ACs? No, they just took out the old ones, repaired them, and put them back. It's like, but
yeah.
Okay, all right then.
Yeah, that's like saying when students graduate from a class and it fills with new students the next semester, it's not a class anymore because it's composed of different people.
Well, that was exciting. I closed the window for the article, but it closed the entire panel of Chrome and took me out of the show.
Oh shit! Welcome back.
That was an interesting glitch. Okay, let's not have that happen again. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you, Terry DiMontis. Sorry I'm late. I was taking a 9. Okay, and rewatching taking a knee. Oh God, and watching Monty Python and the Holy Grail. You're welcome, black people. Oh. We are the knights who say knee. Yes. Oh boy. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt. That was completely unintentional. Were you guys saying something? Sorry.
No,
we
finished up our analogies.
All right. Yeah, the meaning of words, as Satsu's pointed out multiple times now in videos and everything, is just it's like I'm gonna go punch a baby in the face. You're gonna go do what? I don't mean I'm gonna punch a baby in the face. I mean I'm gonna go plant a tree. Like what? No. I mean so you're gonna go plant a tree? Yeah, I'm gonna go punch a baby in the face. No, what? No. Anyway, guys. Choose your words carefully, guys. You need to know what you're saying, because if you don't say the right word, you can just say it means something else. Because we live in the mirror universe or something. But that's all the stories that I had and rattled on long enough. So now it's time for MSS News. So guys, if you have news stories you would like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSS News. Can't promise to get to them all, but that's because I'm long-winded. And we might go a little shorter today because we have a guest and other things to talk about. So I'll try to get in as many as I can. This one comes from Mercy of Wits. And I have to minimize the window. Don't close it this time, stupid thing. Georgia officials call for investigations into primary day voting issues. Okay. Excuse me. Georgia's Secretary of State and State House Speaker on Tuesday called for investigations into voting delays in Atlanta and across Georgia on the day of the state's primary. The announcement of the investigations came after a rocky start to the state's primary on Tuesday morning as voters, primarily in the populous Atlanta area, were met with long lines and delays. Quote, "The voting situation today in certain precincts in Fulton and DeKalb counties is unacceptable," Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, a Republican, said. Quote, "My office has opened an investigation to determine what these counties need to do to resolve those issues before November's election." The city of Atlanta is encompassed in the two counties. Separately, Speaker David Ralston has directed the House Governmental Affairs Committee to investigate irregularities in Tuesday's primary election across Georgia, particularly in Fulton County, where a majority of issues have been reported. Quote, "The sanctity of our elections being free and fair is the very foundation of our system of government. Our elections must be efficient and voters must be confident that their votes will be properly counted." Well, okay, so delays and long lines. That's it.
I guess.
I mean, is it intentional? Because when I hear like investigations, like, okay, well, I mean, if there's something, is it people only being prevented from voting?
Yeah, I've never voted without a delay in a long line. Like, I take half a day off work and get a coffee beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Quote, Fulton County has made unfortunate decisions that the state did not agree with. For example, they decided to process email applications last. Okay. Fulton County's handling of the current election is under investigation by the state election board, said Georgia Elections Director Chris Harvey. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what the procedures are for board of electors and everything. So doing email applications last is bad. I mean, if you show up, or like in replacement of people showing up first, I don't know. Let's see. Quote, if you are in line, please do not allow your vote to be suppressed. Please stay in line. They should offer you a provisional ballot if the machines are not working. I suppose that's not unreasonable, but okay. But of course, this is the state that denied Stacey Abrams the governorship. So we have to be careful. Which is why, yeah.
She didn't lose, though, remember?
Well, that's right. She just didn't win by degrees. Let's see. This one comes from Frosted Glass. Oh, yeah, this is the one that I didn't read last night. So Frosted Glass has to get it in. From Slate.com, because I feel so fancy. Please stop making protest signs that reference black dick. And this is by Julia Craven. I wonder what she's craving. As large-scale demonstrations against police violence have swept the nation, so have a number of interesting protest signs. Many of them are compelling, passionate cries for equality and justice. Others are something else. Exhibits A and B. And then there are pictures of signs in a tweet that I can't really show here, unfortunately. Well, I guess it's fortunate for my channel. Let's see. It should be, but apparently isn't clear that protesting for black rights on the grounds one enjoys sleeping with black men does not reflect well on one's priorities.
You think?
But fetishizing black men's genitalia is dehumanizing regardless. Have you seen porn sites?
Well, I mean, that does align with their arguments, because they do argue that that is the same case on porn sites too. But
yeah,
you have a pretty large speed bump in your way in regards to that, because I can't think of anybody who fetishizes black dick more than black people. So I'm just like I just don't. You're gonna have a hard time getting rid of that completely.
Fetishizing black men's. Oh, sorry.
I'm no one to judge about fetishizing my own penis, so.
You're right. You're not.
I'm not. I'm going to sit back and just keep my mouth shut. Y'all think about whatever dick you like.
Let's see. Is dehumanizing regardless, as it is rooted in the historical tropes that are directly linked to the brutalization of black folks and the justification of that violence.
It's also rooted in the fact that black people walk around talk about how big their dicks are all the time. But
that's what it's rooted in.
But for some reason, they didn't know about that one. They're like, what? That's a thing? No way.
The, quote, black brute, mandingo, or black buck tropes reflect a potent supposition that black men are unstoppably sex-crazed beasts.
Really?
And who brought those up just now, by the way? Really?
Let's actually send an email to the porn star whose name, might I add, is Mandingo. Ask him what the fuck he thinks, because I'm almost certain that you know what, he might not be upset with either description, honestly. So never mind.
I understand what they're trying to get at, and maybe there's some people who are like that chick. I only suck black dick. Her,
yeah.
Good for her, but that literally has no effect on me if she wants to only suck black dick. And if you're offended that somebody thinks that is something to say, well then don't suck black dick. You'll be fine. This is all about the whole size thing.
That's what it's about. That's what it's really about. But they're pretending like it's something else. They're trying to move the giant dick post, and it ain't working.
So is it now? I mean, it was bad to fetishize or objectify women in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
Is it now disallowed to sexualize or fetishize black men in any way, shape, or form?
Only if
I'm
you're
not
on the
gonna do
wrong
it.
side.
Right. Okay. Somehow I think the sites on Pornhub will still be clicked on.
Oh yeah.
This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Screw politics, porn actor running for office in Florida.
How relevant.
There
This
you
is my-
go.
Yeah, this is my not surprised phase. I remember there was, I think it was like years and years ago, there was some, I forget her name, but she was a female porn actress and she was running for governor of California. And she was being interviewed, I think, by Stephen Colbert back when he was on The Daily Show.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow the conversation got to the types of sex that she has. And the anal sex was brought up. And then she suddenly just like farted there on the camera. Like she was sitting there just like, she's like, yeah, I don't have a lot of bowel control anymore. Or something like that. She said it's just, it was ridiculous. And it was like, I don't think it was scripted, is the thing. I was like, oh, okay. Was that Mary Carey? Maybe it was Mary Carey.
That's got toe up.
Anyway, it gives Florida man a new meaning. A porn actor is reportedly running for office in Florida, in Florida's Wilton Manors. I guess that's a town or a county. Juan Melicio, also known as Juan Davila, has decided to leave porn and enter politics. His reason? He's a, quote, passionate, unquote, person and, quote, goes for it, unquote, when something is right. I'm from Puerto Rico and I'm a very passionate person. When something is right, I just go for it. The commission seats and the mayor's seat are up for grabs in the November election. Qualifying lasts through noon on Friday. The two commission seats are elected at large and are currently filled by Julie Carson, who has said she will run for mayor, and Tom Green, who will be retiring. Each voter may vote for two candidates, and the two with the most votes are elected. Okay, well, all more power to him.
Yeah, man. Do you think?
I mean, that's, I don't know. It doesn't seem that unusual to me, given how many times I've heard about porn stars or people you wouldn't expect running for office. So,
wasn't there one who ran in 2016 for president? That flighty blonde chick?
Probably. I don't know. Chicago Mike sent 12 facts about Night Court.
Yeah.
So why not? Because that is the theme of the show, at least as far as visually speaking. We did Knight Rider the other night, so why not? I'll just read them off. Let's see. It was inspired. Real New York City judges inspired the series. I can believe it. Saturday Night Live played a part in Harry Anderson's casting. Yeah, I think he was like seen on. Like somebody saw him doing a bit on SNL, and then that got him the in to make the audition. Dan Fielding started out as a conservative character. Yeah, I remember he was like straight-laced as hell in the first like 5 episodes or something, and then he became a total coonhound.
Well, no, he was still. I mean, he was always a poonhound. It's just that I'm very curious about that statement.
Well, let's see. In the first couple seasons, Dan Fielding's not an arrogant womanizer like he is in later seasons. Quote, if you look at the early episodes, my character was this sort of tight-lipped, vested, pipe-smoking conservative fellow, John Larroquette told the AV Club. And of course, I was putting garden hoses down my pants by the end of the series. I think what happens on a television series like that is that the creator of the show gets used to the characters and the actors playing them. They learn to write towards their strengths, which a good writer does. And Reinhold, the writer and creator of the show, saw that I was this maverick crazy that sounds self-inflating, but I have a rather acerbic sense of humor. Reinhold started writing toward that and creating the character that everybody knows. So there you go. The show didn't tackle heavy issues, and that was intentional. There was a couple episodes where they went on to some heavy stuff. There was some drama in a couple of the episodes. Like
but it wasn't like on a very special blossom.
No. But I mean, there was the one where like Dan had to talk Roz off the ledge when she was about to jump off because she was having a I think she OD'd or she was deficient in her insulin or something like that. She missed her insulin shot, and so she had gone like insulin dementia or shock or something.
Yep.
And that was a dramatic moment. But yeah, I guess it wasn't an issue so much.
Well, there's also the one going right into season, I think it's 2, because the lady who played the the Roz, not
Selma
that
Diamond.
chick. Selma, she died.
Yeah.
And they actually wrote it into the show that way, with Bull being just out of his fucking mind about it.
Yeah. Which is convenient because the next one is Marsha Warfield broke the bailiff curse. Yeah, because anybody who wasn't Bull and a bailiff ended up dying during the course of the series.
Well, they kept hiring women who were 900 years old.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Selma Diamond played bailiff Selma Hacker, and then Diamond died of lung cancer, if you can believe it, if you ever heard that lady talk.
I watched her smoke on the show.
Or watch her, yeah, back when you could smoke on a TV show. Florence Hallup replaced Diamond and played bailiff Florence Kleiner for 22 episodes, but she passed away in 1986 at 63, also from lung cancer. If you can believe it, the way she talked. But she sounded more like a cute little gnome than anything else.
Did, yeah.
Let's see. After winning 4 Emmys in a row, John Larroquette took himself out of contention.
Yes, he did.
Which is amazing. It was a combination of 2 things, Larroquette said. Quite frankly and honestly, I didn't think that the work that I had done was as good as it was, only partially because Reinhold had left by then and new producers had come in. And more selfishly, quite honestly, I knew that the character had made a really deep impression on the American public and on studios and producers and directors and writers, but it was going to end someday. I wanted to fade into the background with this guy a little bit so that there would be a possibility of eventually doing something else. I've seen Larroquette in like bit roles in a bunch of TV shows. He was on House for an episode, and he's been on like The West Wing and different places. I don't know that he had his own show for a while, the John Larroquette Show, and that was a dark show. That first season, that was like a hard-boiled like crime novel of a TV show, even though it wasn't about mysteries or anything. It was very good. I mean, it was very mature for being a comedy show or a sitcom kind of thing. And then they thought it was too, morose or something. And so by the second season, they changed the entire thing back to like your standard apartment sitcom kind of deal. And it sucked. Let's see. A low-budget sci-fi movie was the reasoning behind Bull's bald head. In 1983, Richard Mole starred in an obscure B-movie called Metal Storm, The Destruction of Jared's Sin. I think I saw someone do a review on that movie, which required him to shave his head. Around the same time, Mole got the call to audition Night Court. Let's see. The TV creator said the 6'8" bald actor wasn't what he'd envisioned for the character, but he liked Mole's acting. Quote, I remember saying to Richard, I want you to keep that hair balding. Mole responded with, are you kidding? I'll shave my legs for the part. Michael Richards appeared naked on Night Court. Cosmo Kramer. In a second season episode titled Take My Wife, Please, a pre-Seinfeld Michael Richards played Eugene Slabo, a man who thought he was invisible. He stood before the court accused of robbing an apartment because he thought nobody could see him, when in fact hundreds of people did. Quote, they probably have some kind of heat sensing device, Slabo offered. Yes, it's called sunlight, Fielding retorted. Ha, ha, ha. At the end of the episode, Slabo returned to court, but this time in his birthday suit, as he thought his invisibility hadn't worked because he had been wearing clothes. I see. Thank you, the Harry channel. Sometimes people accuse me of being cool, and then I get to tell them that, like Harry Anderson, I'm unironically a fan of Mel Torme. Yes. Oh, Mel Torme. That was actually, that might be in here somewhere, I bet you. Yeah, that whole Mel Torme thing, that was Harry Anderson's personal thing. He liked Mel Torme in real life, and so he wanted to make that part of the character. And then that eventually worked into like crazy plot lines later on in the seasons where Mel Torme actually showed up. Let's see. And anything else that's interesting that I don't already know? Nope. Everything else is kind of procedural, so we'll move on because that was enough Night Court. Speaking of the devil, so to speak. Check Your Logic sends us this one. If it'll come out here. Sky Jackson is exposing teen racists, naming names, and bringing receipts.
Great.
Sky, especially one where the other day, I think it was, she exposed someone as a racist, except that it was a total prank and she named the wrong person. And so some guy got a whole bunch of like threats and things against him when it was a photo that wasn't him.
Yep.
Sky Jackson is doing her part toward achieving racial equality. The former Disney Channel star, that's what she was, took to Twitter to share a message, and for anyone planning to make racist remarks on social media, a warning. Noting that she's seen some, quote, horrific statements, unquote. Well, I wonder if she has PTSD. and videos on social media made by Caucasian teenagers, she wrote, quote, "Let me say this. If I see you post it, I will expose you. If you think you're big and bad enough to say it, I will most definitely put your words on blast." Changing her Twitter name to Queen of Exposing Racist, singular? Okay. Jackson has been busy after asking her followers to point her in the direction of any racist posts they encounter.
I want to write something horrific and have people send it to her.
Oh, just wait. Jackson is not playing around. She's doing some serious sleuthing, wink, wink, to find out who these people are, where they go to school, and other personal info about them, and putting it all out there for the world to see, even if it's the exact wrong person, and vilifying and destroying someone's life without thinking first. Oh, sorry, I added that last part. One of Jackson's tweets outed a student attending Texas Christian University. Is this the one? I think this is the one. Which responded by declaring that the student in question has been reported, quote, to the appropriate staff members. Yeah. Go after someone's college career or college attendance. Yeah, just go do that. Ruin their entire educational potential because of mistaken identity. Yeah, good job. Yeah.
Like, if she was actually doing the groundwork to make sure that the people that she was getting was indeed, who they were, it would still be doxing, and, feel how you want to feel about that. But she ain't even going that far. You're like going on a crusade. You're basically the police at this point.
Yeah.
Not making sure that shit should be up to snuff before you feel like you're doing justice and fucking people's lives up.
Yeah. It's just also so ridiculous, because how does that not blatantly violate the rule against targeted harassment that so many of these social media sites have?
It absolutely does.
I mean, you can feel very powerful when you get control of the mob and you say, attack that person, and thousands of people do what you say. Regardless of the damage it might cause, regardless of the injustice of it in itself. Thank you, John Miller. She was a terrible actress, too. No wonder she is looking for work as Sky Jackson, racist hunter. Yeah.
How come thousands of people never do what I say?
Because you rarely ever do anything that could be considered a call to action.
Is it because I'm a monkey?
Probably. Okay, guys. I know I'm cutting a little bit short here. I know I'm cutting a little bit short here, but we have a guest. We have other things to talk about, and lots of stuff I want to do before the show's out. So we're going to stop it there. Thank you guys so much for the stories. Sorry to get to them all. I know I'm a terrible person. I hope you forgive me. Please forgive me. I know not what I do. No. So on to the wonderful world of YouTube time. I'll go first.
I'm singing the song.
Please.
You started it.
Me. I know not what I do. Please forgive me. I can't stop loving you. Don't deny me. Every word you say.
I just want to point out with the autistic jukebox, I don't get in trouble if I interrupt him singing.
I was trying to stop myself, but you put me back on the path.
It's a good song, man. It just gets stuck in your head.
Except I think Bryan Adams is evil now or something. I think he said something
I still
wrong.
like Bryan Adams. I don't care what people say.
Snubber, thank you so much. Very telling. She's only going after students. Go after them, Hicks, and see what happens. Oh, well, I don't want anything happening to anybody, for crying out loud, regardless of what they are. Except if you're going to do that kind of stuff, you should be penalized as anybody else doing calls to action or targeted harassment. But we'll see if that actually happens.
That shit ain't going to happen.
No, probably not. So YouTube time. I didn't do anything today because I was working and had stuff to do. I plan on doing a TEDx tomorrow. I've got a couple lined up. I'm debating on which one to do. We'll see what I feel like tomorrow. But I got plenty for that. And a revised bingo card from Frosted Glass, which I'll be implementing tomorrow as well. And I also saved that new image to an image board, and the link will be in the description of the TED Excellence so that everybody can join in on the fun with TEDx Bingo. That'll be tomorrow. I'll tweet out when that'll be. It'll be probably noon Pacific time tomorrow, given that I have a phone meeting I have to be in on tomorrow as usual, but I'll let you know. Moving on from that, Satsu, what have you been up to?
Well, I've actually spent a good bit of today recording footage from my VR headset. I've been kind of going through each one of the games that I play and just getting clips from it, so I can do a kind of first impressions video of the quest that I'm working on now. So that should be done soon. I expect it to be done in the next couple days or whatever. Just generally going over, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, if it's worth it, and what you should do when you get one, because there are some things you should do if you're going to get one. So that's mainly what I've been working on, and edits on the backlog of cooking videos that I'm lazily putting up.
All right, Monkey, what have you been up to?
Streaming, lots and lots of streaming. Let's see, did Monkey in the morning, and then I didn't do a game stream last night because I actually hurt my voice on the game stream the day before. I just went too long, and so I did a short Monkey in the morning, and then I woke up. No, I didn't wake up because I didn't go to sleep. I stopped playing a video game is what I did, and Chuck Schumer was being a moron on Twitter, so I had to do an after party. And then right after this, I'm going straight into a Monkey in the morning because the reason I haven't slept is because I'm fixing my sleep schedule tonight.
Oh.
We are at 26 hours Monkey's been awake.
Damn.
Wow.
So, yeah. So come hang out with Sleep Drunk Monkey right after this.
Yay, Sleep Debt Monkey. And Michelle, what have you been up to?
I haven't been up to much. I haven't uploaded a video in a while. I'm pretty drained from all of the side quest episodes I've been doing. So just streaming occasionally on my channel, but nothing today.
And when is Side Quests, by the way, for those that might want to watch that? And what is it about?
Well, it is fantastic. If you have not heard of Magog of Morskar, he is terrible. I mean, he's a great boss, and I hope he gives me a raise. And he plays this dark wizard from a world he created, and Side Quest is on his Magog of Morskar live streams channel, where he has a couple people play fantasy characters from his world, and we basically engage in 2 hours of improv insult comedy with one another in character. So it's sort of like D&D, except not at all. And it's great.
Describing D&D as D&D, but not at all, is mostly how the D&D campaigns I've been involved with have gone.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, that was YouTube time. Now on to the thuggetry. I'll go first-ish here because I found the thing that Jim Gila sent me about Seattle. So it comes from a tweet that says Seattle Mayor Jenny, I guess her name is just Mayor Jenny, is allowing a dangerous situation to fester. Antifa militants have taken over and created an, quote, autonomous zone, unquote, in city with their own rules. Police precinct abandoned. Antifa set up barricades to create a border, calling for volunteers to provide armed guard. That's a tweet from Andy No, but the tweets that he references here, the Capitol Hill. Okay, the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. Folks in Seattle have secured 6 blocks of city at the moment, barricaded it, and gotten local businesses and residents to agree to, well, disaffiliate from Seattle, basically. It's a flux state in the making.
Cool, that's horrifying.
Yeah, it's a little bit. And then there's a map that shows what these zones apparently are. That is right out of sci-fi right there. That's, like I said, when I said LARPing the Division, I don't think I was that far off the mark.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. Then there was this from someone tweeted out a couple of stories from NPR, posted 14 minutes apart, by the way. First one says, even in a pandemic, WHO believes that public protests are important. And then 14 minutes later, Trump to restart political rallies this month despite coronavirus pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even trying.
No, they're really not. Aside from that, I just want to plug that our resident comic book cover artist Grizilla has put out his second part of his Friday the 13th comic book. You can look at it live. You can look at it free on the Twitters. Actually, it's on DeviantArt, but I tweeted out the link on my Twitter feed, so look for that. I skimmed through it a bit, read the first couple pages before I had to get the show ready, and looks pretty good. I recognize that art style because I've seen his stuff before. Yeah. Let's see. We talked about that. And other than that, I think that's all. I mean, I'm sure there was something else today, but there's so much nonsense going on, especially with like the meaning of words. Wait, there is the thing. So apparently, remember last night when I read that story from on CNN that told us that the WHO said getting coronavirus from asymptomatic people was rare?
Yeah.
Well, New York Times put this out today. Breaking news, the WHO is walking back an earlier assertion that asymptomatic transmission of the coronavirus is very rare, saying it was a misunderstanding. How do you
Except it's
misunderstand
not.
very rare?
So they care at least a tiny bit about all the hypocrisy and double standards that are becoming extremely blatant now.
I don't even know anymore.
Did
It's
you
like,
read this story there, Scribbles?
no, I just got the screenshot of it. I don't know what the details were, unfortunately.
The details of it is she says that she was answering a question. And what she means is they don't really know, but you should still pretend that it is possible because they don't know. And maybe some of the studies that have shown that it's not possible are fake. She don't know. Basically, she don't know.
So, and we're supposed to believe the experts, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So we should take anything you say with a giant grain of salt, like you don't know what you're talking about. Great.
But that's only because they don't.
Right. Only because they don't. At least they're being honest, I suppose. Okay, sorry. And this, I keep forgetting things. This is the last one I'll do. So there was a big story on the Washington Post this morning that said, quote, America has never fully lived up to its ideals, unquote, says Biden advisor Simone Sanders.
Oh, her.
And I said, she's a Biden advisor? That's interesting, because if you look at some comments of hers back in 2016 after Bernie Sanders' campaign died out, she said, the next Democratic National Committee leader needs to reflect the diversity of America, said Simone Sanders, former press secretary for Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign and a CNN contributor. Quote, in my opinion, we don't need white people leading the Democratic Party right now, unquote.
Huh. Okay.
But Joe Biden's fine. Just saying that. All right, well, that's all my fuggatry. So, Satsu, what do you got?
Did you guys hear that call from the Chicago mayor talking to? I'm not sure. Really
the alderman. Yeah, that was amazing.
That was something to listen to. That she straight up just went off on him, and he was not having that shit.
Real quick, thank you, Professor Chaos. We got tested 2 weeks at work. Lab screwed up. Now we have to get retested this week. It's like getting your brain scratched. I've heard about them having to like stick a little scraper in there or whatever, or your nose and kind of thing and whatever. Well, for context, there was a phone call, I guess a week or two ago or something, between the mayor of Chicago and one of the aldermen, like of a town nearby or a suburb or something. And he was
an award. It was on the 31st.
Okay, and so he was describing on this conference call to the mayor all the insane stuff going on in his ward or whatever. With the lack of police response, and he talked about like gang members walking around with AK-47s and things. And he states all this stuff, and then the line kind of goes quiet, and they start to move on. He's like, no, I want an answer to this. And it just loses it from there.
He actually is asking a question, and there's just this moment of silence, and she goes, does anybody else have any questions?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit. Just straight up told him to go fuck himself.
Yeah, and he was like, I want an answer. You can't ignore it. And she's like, yeah, you know what? I think you're just full of shit.
Yes.
Yeah, she said, I think you're completely full of shit. Basically saying that none of that is true. Like everything he claimed, it's all fake. And there's no people. She was like, if you think that we're allowing any of that to happen, then there's nothing reasonable I could say to you. And he got real pissed off.
There's a problem in Chicago, and well, lots of problems in Chicago. But when it came to the riots and stuff, there were people like, the mayor is only protecting the rich downtown areas. And that's what she was mad about. And he's like, fuck, I love he actually said fuck you to her.
Yeah, he was like, fuck you. Yeah, that was
Good on him.
Yep, that was an interesting thing to listen to. Also, too, let's see here. There was a post that I was looking at, a very long post, trying to explain the fact that defund the police does not mean eliminating all police funding. And it's like all these bullet points in this very long explanation. I'm like, first off, that is exactly what it means. Like, quite literally what it means. And not even, people say literally all the time. I'm like, no, like literally that's exactly what it means. And I commented like, look, if you want people to understand what it is you're doing, and if you want to send out a message, you should probably say what you mean. You would think by now you would have gotten tired of putting out these slogans and stuff and having people, literally say them verbatim. Like, it's not like people are changing your words, or, like when somebody says something, somebody will put what they think they mean in quotes and like, this is what they said or whatever. It's not even that. They're literally repeating the exact words that you are chanting. And you're like, this is bullshit. They're putting words in our mouth. That's not what we stand for. We don't want to defund the police. Hashtag defund the police. And I'm just like, but you should probably learn what the words mean that you use, because it helps. Like, you wouldn't have to spend time explaining this to anybody if you weren't fucking stupid. It's not that difficult, I don't know why people are treating this like it's rocket science, or they're being infiltrated. Somebody's out to get them by lying about them. I'm like, no, they're just repeating what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, that's a very interesting thing that's happened recently. People realize they can make the argument that, our movement's name, our organization's name, or the hashtag is very noble. So our intentions have to be completely noble, whether they have to do with what our title actually is or not.
Well,
real quick, thank you, Snubberth. Monkey, Chicago had a mini race war as well. Latino people were not happy being dragged into BLM's bowl.
Oh, I saw the videos.
Yeah, in a conversation, God damn it, what was I about to say? Y'all got me thinking about the fucking the shit y'all was just talking about. I forgot what I was just referring to. There was a conversation that I had got into on Facebook about Candace Owens, because one of her quotes is, if you didn't support Hillary in 2016, you weren't a woman. If you don't support Joe Biden in 2020, you aren't black. And if you can't see that Democrats are exactly what they accuse everybody else of being, then you're just not smart. And I was like, she spouts a lot of bullshit, but that's spot on.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty accurate, because they are exactly what it is they claim other people to be. Let me see what else. People are mad at Tucson. Ice Cube tweeted about it because they apparently have made it illegal to record uniformed police.
Okay.
No, that's not what they did.
Well, that's what I said. That's why I said apparently, because these people seem to be pissed off because that's what they think this said. I didn't actually see what it says. It says ordinance number 11746, as passed by the Tucson City Council, has given the TPD effective authority to prevent citizens from filming them. And I'm like, is that what it says? I don't know, but they're upset. So enlighten us, Monk.
What it says is that you can't be, if the police have marked off a crime area, you can't be in there. You can still record them. You just have to be back. And they're having a problem with this group of people who are intentionally trying to piss off cops to try to get the cop to hit them or something.
Right.
Getting up in their face and you're like, dude, I'm trying to do my fucking job here.
Mm-hmm.
And so they pass an ordinance that you have to stay back. You can still record, you just have to stay back.
Uh-huh. So these people are lying. It's usually.
Yeah, they're lying.
Yay. And this was another interesting post I saw. It says, all lives matter until somebody dies in an ICE detention center. All lives matter until you want a haircut, and COVID only kills old people. All lives matter until your neighborhood dies of an overdose, and your response is addiction is a choice. All lives matter until you find out they're LGBT, A, B, C, D, L, M, N, O, P. And then it says, all lives matter when it's convenient for you. It's bullshit and you know it. And I'm like, oh shit, like Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
And that made some people upset because I've had several conversations with people who have almost explicitly said, like, yeah, you know, those other Black lives that you keep talking about aren't really relevant. We're only talking about the Negroes that are killed by white people. Those are the only ones that matter. They ain't killed by whitey, then we don't care about their lives. I'm just like, oh, okay. And it's this obviously not what they said word for word because none of them has the balls to be honest. But basically, that's what it translates to. So that's been interesting. And it is kind of funny watching them. What's up? Oh, I love you too. It is kind of interesting watching people both still claim that the other lives don't matter, but try to rationalize their viewpoint. You know what I mean? Like trying to give you some explanation on why it's okay to not really pay attention to the other Black lives that are dying. I'm like, if you could only hear yourself, it's a lot of racists would be very proud of you right now. They'd be like, man, this guy knows what's up. And that's the main stuff. I'm sure there was some stuff on Twitter, but I don't feel like going over to Twitter, so I'll hop on your fucking tree if it is relevant.
All right. Mucky, what do you got?
Shut down STEM has been trending.
Oh God. Yeah.
Because STEM is supposedly racist. All people in STEM fields are supposed to have a blackout, not go to work, y'all. Call in and I don't know, whine because reasons. It's really fucking stupid. And this guy Ryan says, if you're just hearing about it, here's what you need to know about the strike for Black Lives and related #shutdown STEM, #shutdown academia movements. Thanks for Gizmodo for letting me continue blogging about important things. I will throw that into the chat if you guys want to read it because it's really fucking stupid and kind of long. But it's all about how STEM is just horrifically racist, so everybody needs a day off, apparently. Apparently it's so racist that it actually tires them out. They need a vacation or something. I can't think of a better explanation for how those two things go together. The other one, I saw this right as I got off the after party. Oh shit, I just responded to it. I didn't retweet. Hang on, let me get there. Ilhan Omar. She retweeted a moron. Public Citizens tweeted, Minneapolis spends more than 11% of its budget on policing, which, by the way, is true. For comparison, it spends just 1.5% on the health department. It's actually 1%, according to their budgetary figures. But the reason for that is because cities don't fund the health department. It's funded by the state. Ilhan Omar said, this is exactly why we need to rethink police budgets. No, health departments are paid for by the federal and state governments. She's a congresswoman. She should know this. But, you know, she also wants to abolish the police to make Minneapolis look like her home of Somalia. So, is what it is. That's all I got.
All right. Chatmore, do you have anything to offer up?
I've got a couple things. I had something yesterday that people seem to like, I guess. It's interesting to see the Pride Month thing kind of starting, but it's sort of a halting start this year. Companies just don't know which minority to pander to right now. So everybody's a little bit confused about, how courageously they should change their logo and which color to. But yesterday I tweeted, yes, Pride Month, the month when a bunch of soulless corporations pretend to give a shit about people like me while making a ton of money from countries where LGBT people can only dream of having my issues as opposed to being afraid for their lives. Fabulous. And people really liked that one for some reason. So I guess this is the opposite of humpatry, because for a tweet that got over 1,000 likes, nobody was really mad at me, which is very confusing when that many people see something.
How dare they not be offended? I guess it's kind of fucketry, I suppose.
Yeah. It's a little suspicious, so I would say so. I don't know. I've just been kind of trying really hard to ignore all the infuriating things that have been happening on Twitter.
Yeah, it's been a smorgasbord of just like eye rolling and infuriating stuff. I'm still like, we talked about the old guy in Buffalo being pushed over.
Yeah.
Like monkeys read on the video, and I've watched it since then. Is the guy seemed to be reaching for the cop's belt, and they pushed him out of the way. It wasn't a violent push, but it was enough to make him slip over backwards and everything else. And like it looks like a giant combination of just bad decisions all around, or at least Anyway, Trump tweeting this morning that it was all giant conspiracy theory. The guy was a plant. He's an Antifa agent. It was fake blood, or whatever else other people say. I'm like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
You might want to withhold that kind of stuff until you have some kind of proof, because otherwise there's like a 78 or 75, 76-year-old man in critical condition in the hospital. If it was a blood pack and it was all fake, I don't think they'd keep him in critical condition in the hospital at this point. So that part I was not very jazzed to read this morning. Go like, seriously, dude, Donald Trump is a fucking teenager sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually like kind of pissed off when I saw that shit. I'm just like, really?
Yeah. Yeah, normally I can overlook the more immature things he tweets, but that was very irritating.
Yeah, disagree with the guy's politics, question whether or not the police were justified in pushing him out of the way given his other behavior or actions or whatever else. Fine, that's legit. But like, oh, it's all fake. The blood's fake. He's an agent. This was all a setup. This is all AstroTurf. Like, okay, unless you've got some evidence to offer up, there's an old man who is, so far as anybody can tell, just been sort of a far left peacenik this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. But anyway, sorry, chat. Was that all your humpatry, such as it was?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
All right, let's see. We have enough time for a MAD-LIB.
Ooh.
And I picked this one out special because it's related to something we've talked about tonight, sort of. But so chat, that is in chat, not you, Chat Mort.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, you'll be participating too, but
okay.
You'll be a premier participant. Well, at least, no. That would be devaluing our audience. I don't mean to do that, but I just did. I'm sorry. But you guys, those of you in chat, I need your help because I need from you. This is lots of words in this one, so it's a good thing I have a guest on. But what I need from you, in chat, is occupation plural, a noun, an adverb, a body part, and an adjective. Okay, so I'll go through that again. An occupation plural, a noun, an adverb, a body part, and an adjective. Please put them into separate little chat messages and tag them if you could with what they are so I can reference them easily as I go down the list. But before we get there, Chat Mort, I need an occupation.
Ooh. Oh, I'm very bad at these. The first thing that came to mind is a fish tank cleaner as a profession.
Okay. Sure, why not?
Oh, there you go.
Fine by me. Monkey, I need a number.
422.
422. Satsu, I need an adjective.
Let's go with depressed.
Jeez. All right. Chat, I need a noun.
Oh, uvula.
Oh.
Okay. I don't know if I know how to spell that correctly. Apparently I did spell it correctly. Okay. Let's see. Monkey, I need a noun.
Wiener.
Wiener. Satsu, I need a verb ending in ing.
Let's see. Rioting.
Ooh. Topic.
Timely.
Chat, I need a verb.
Snuggle.
No.
Oh.
This is going to be weird.
Strangely enough, monkey, I need an animal.
A killer whale.
A what?
Killer whale. An orca.
Orca whale. Okay, I didn't hear the orca part.
I said killer because I'm not
killer whale. Okay, gotcha.
not a nerd.
Yeah, for some reason, the word killer broke up on the mic for me. Satsu, I need another adjective.
How about repulsed?
Repulsed. Okay. Chat, I need an event.
Oh, birth? Is that an event?
Sure. Childbirth. I'll put
Yay.
childbirth to add that a little bit. Monkey, I need a sport.
Beating women.
Nice.
Oh, soccer.
It's too late. You can't be on the Flash now.
Soccer.
Soccer.
Oh, one or the other, I suppose.
Answer, monkey.
Yeah, I put the actual sport on there. Let's see. Satsu, I need a color.
A color. How about? I'll just pick something normal. How about blue? Fuck it.
Oh, okay. Chat, I need a noun.
Shoelace.
Shoelace. Monkey, I need a type of material.
Scrotum.
Oh boy. Let's see. Satsu, I need a noun plural.
How about duffel bags?
Duffel bags. Okay. Chat, I need a mythological god.
Oh.
I know.
Odin, I guess.
Okay.
Oh,
Monkey, I need a noun plural.
Let's see. Abuse victims.
Jesus. Satsu, I need a verb ending in ed.
trapped.
Trapped. All right. Chat, I need the name of a person in the room. So anybody here, anybody in the chat, whoever you want.
Oh. Let's go with me, Michelle.
Okay, Michelle. Monkey, I need an event.
Castration.
What?
All right. Satsu, I need a number.
39.
And
I heard judgment on that last answer.
Yeah, you did. And lastly, Michelle, I need a verb ending in ing.
Skidding.
Skidding. All right. And now we go on to chat suggestions. So first we need an adjective from somebody who's got an adjective. Lots of adverbs, lots of nouns. Where are the adjectives? Did anybody actually put in the adjectives?
There's green right there from Chicago Mike. Weak from Attack Alpaca.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? It's probably because I'm not on live chat. Maybe that's it. Who knows? Okay, okay. Green and weak. Okay, I can use those. So green and weak. Okay. Then occupation plural. This is the big one. Occupation plural. Oh, what's a good one? Let's see. Dom O'Leary says arse inspectors. Sure, why not? Let's see. A noun. I got a couple of nouns here, so we'll see what people say. Dark Allow says shovel. All right, I can do that. And another noun. Let's see. First one, eyes fall on here. Whoops, and then chat jumped, of course, because of course it does. Tacklepacker says tear gas. Yeah, sounds about right. All right, then an adverb. I saw several adverbs in here. Somebody I haven't already picked one from. Two people said the same adverb. Wow, there's only like 3 people actually giving me adverbs in here, apparently. Wow, there's a lot of stomping and children screaming in my apartment building right now. Tartan Rose says devastatingly. All right. Devastatingly. Okay, and then lastly, a body part. Oh, what's a good, funny body part? I don't know.
Wrong with wiener.
Well, but I'm looking for someone that someone suggested in the chat, Monkey. That's the whole point.
I'm just
JB says eyeballs. Sure. All right, guys. Here we go. This is Superhero Almanac, The Flash.
Oh, dear.
I saw that and I was like, hey, that sounds on point. Jay Garrick was a fish tank cleaner in 1940, suggesting he was born around 422, who accidentally inhaled depressed uvula vapors after falling asleep in his wiener, where he had been rioting. As a result, he found that he could snuggle at super killer whale speed and had similarly repulsed reflexes. After a brief childbirth as a college soccer star, he donned a blue shirt with a shoelace and a stylized scrotum helmet with duffel bags based on images of the Roman god Odin, and began to fight abuse victims as the Flash.
Well, they're an easy target.
Holy shit.
If I'd actually saved Monkey's original answer for what kind of sport, that would have fit in perfectly.
Oh, shit.
It was trapped decades later that the helmet belonged to Jay's father, Michelle, who died in castration when Jay was only 39. His first case involved skidding the green for a group of arse inspectors. He kept his identity secret with without a shovel by devastatingly vibrating his tear gas while in public so that any photograph of his eyeballs would be weak.
All right.
And that's it.
That almost made sense.
That almost made a little bit of sense there. Yeah. So, he battled abuse victims, guys.
You can't give those fuckers any leeway just because they've been abused, man. You
Oh my God.
can't put up with that shit.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. Thank you for your participation and help in that one.
Oh shit.
I as good as that was, I still don't think we've yet. I mean, and we probably won't. I'm trying to think of I think the wildly unfuckable Wolverine was probably our best Mad-Lib up until the Little Mermaid song from last week.
Yeah, that shit was that was something else, Scribe.
Yeah, I think the Little Mermaid might still be it's going to be hard to top that one. But anyway, guys, I'll post that to Twitter here momentarily. Thank you so much for your contributions and suggestions and participation. But now conveniently enough, it's the bottom of the hour, and thus it's your time. If you have
Now you
questions.
can suck it.
Hey,
What?
yeah, that is. Are you playing the one term doesn't mean what it actually means game?
I was talking to the abuse victims.
Ah,
I want to join the Flash in his fight.
For anyone who's doing some archaeology 3 years from now looking for dirt on Monkey, yeah,
Sweet.
found it.
Monkey don't have to give a fuck, so.
Yeah.
Right.
If you have questions, comments, concerns, complaints, conspiracy theories, if you have ideas about what superhero genre or cop show should be taken down next because of outrage, put in the chat now. If you have questions for us, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements for us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, too bad.
Too
Suck
bad.
it.
No, I didn't say that. Let me post tonight's MAD-LIB real quick.
Trying to be helpful.
Yeah, trying is the operative word there.
And I want people to suck it.
Yeah, I think we got that part. Pretty sure. Let's see, where'd the MAD-LIB thing go? JK, there it is. Post that, and there we go. All right, Tack Alpaca. Any word on whether or not Netflix is getting rid of all copies of the Police Academy movies? I didn't even know those movies were on Netflix, but
Yeah, I haven't heard about it.
yeah, if that is a real question, I don't have a real answer. So that was easy enough. And then my chat jumped. Thank you, Joe Fapps. Did anyone hear about human remains found at Lori Vallow's husband's house? I did. I wasn't, like usual, I'm not usually jazzed about bringing up stories about dead children or the potential thereof. But yeah, I read the story, and I'll be looking into that independently after the show because I only saw the story just before we went live. That's been a really insane trail of murder and mayhem those people have been undertaking. Especially,
Who is she?
It's a very, very long story, Monkey. We have a lady whose husband died, and then she got with her new husband immediately thereafter, and then her brother died, and then her two kids suddenly went missing, and then they escaped to Hawaii while they were searching for the kids, and they were part of some kind of cult. And I know I'm not relaying everything accurately because it is such a crazy story of a chain of events. You have to like watch an actual documentary to get it all down, and it's still in process. So yeah, more likely than not, though, her two children, like I think they're either like just ahead of being teenagers or around there, have been missing since September, and nobody said anything about it, and they're probably dead.
oh, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, it's an insane story. Moving on, Mr. Scott J87. Oh lords, would you want to be arse inspectors? In the medical sense, no.
I mean, I do it as a hobby. Does that count?
Yeah, I kind of already do it reflexively.
It's kind of a risky business. That could either go very well or very, very badly.
Well, thanks to Twitter, I kind of don't have a choice.
There's that too. Let's see, Captain Bramwell's. I just get here, and the first thing I hear is Monkey saying, "Suck it." What the fuck? Well, it's Monkey.
Suck it.
What do you want? It's Monkey. Catherine H., can you post these Mad Libs as video clips for those of us that miss streams a lot?
Don't we have it? Well, we don't actually have a hashtag for them, but haven't you been posting Mad-Lib?
I think I meant to. I think I said something like MSS Mad Libs or something at one point, but I forgot to do it this time. Clipping Lords of the Night videos for specific things is, I guess I can try, or at least put in a timestamp or something. Maybe that'd be easier if I put in a timestamp for the Mad Lib. Would that make it more easier for people when we do one? I'll try to do that.
Yeah, that'd probably be helpful.
I'll try to do that. I'll try to put I'll find the timestamp where we start, and I'll put it into the description so that you can click on that, and it'll take you straight to it. That'd probably be easier than making a whole separate cut of it. Let's see. Dr. No, Lords of the Night, have any four of you seen Tiger King? I have watched all. Well, I don't know if they did that special extra episode yet or anything, but I watched all of the original series of Tiger King, yes. You guys watch it?
Squishy had me watch a bit of it.
Yeah.
I have not. I watched some documentary. I think a YouTuber made on him like 5 years ago, but I've not watched anything new now that he is a fad.
Yeah, it's I mean, in and of itself, it's a very interesting twist and turny story. If you can set aside just the tackiness of the whole thing, the characters, the fact that these things actually happen, that these people actually exist, that there's this whole weird underground subculture of animal zoos that I had no idea existed. Things like that I always find interesting because it's like these little corners of reality you didn't know were operating in your world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really just some very Looney Tune people existing in a Looney Tune world. So let's see. Frosted Glass. Odds of getting a Lords of the Night D&D session going. We've been asked that before. Monkey and Satsu don't care for tabletop role-playing games. I'm not a huge D&D fan. There are some fantasy settings that I wouldn't mind running, perhaps, but I'd have to find players and the time and the stuff and the thing. I tried briefly, and chat Mort knows this. I tried very briefly to do a role-playing game, a vampire role-playing game, not Vampire the Masquerade. It was called Undying. But I was trying to operate with somebody in the UK and Michelle, and just it kind of fell apart. But I've always had the desire to try something like that. So we'll see as time goes on, and I do more and more live stream stuff. We'll see. I can't make any promises. It's all about my work schedule and everything else. Let's see. Red Dirt Runner, what is y'all's favorite go-to meal to make? Not cheap ramen monk.
Well, how dare you?
Easy, they dare. What is your otherwise go-to meal, Monkey?
Probably spaghetti. I love spaghetti.
Okay. Satsu, you must have a wide range of options in your head.
There's a ton. The first thing that comes to mind, because Squishy really loves them, is wings. That's usually something we go for quick. Or I'll just make homemade chicken tenders out of chicken breast for her. She really likes when I make that stuff. So usually that's kind of our go-to as a household.
What about you, Michelle?
I make this thing a lot. It's like these hoisin sauce meatballs, except without the hoisin because it's icky. So it's just like meatballs with ginger and onion, and I make that a lot. I got it from like a HelloFresh type thing recipe, and my cats and I eat lots of meatballs, and we are happy. So
when I default to actually cooking something, I usually get about a half pound trout steak, and then I marinate that. It's very bachelor recipe here. I marinate that in like just soy sauce for about, I don't know, a couple hours or something, and then I bake that with some salt and pepper on top. Actually, not so much salt. There's plenty of salt in the soy, so you don't really need to put any more salt on there. Some pepper, maybe a lemon slice. Wrap it up in foil, bake it for about half an hour thereabouts at about 350, I think it is, 300-400. And it's great. And serve that with some sticky white rice, and it's yummy nummy in my tummy.
Yeah, my favorite breakfast though, like the thing that I love more than anything. This is what I'll suggest. Like if they're like you're about to be put to death, what do you want for breakfast? I'm like cheesy grits with the over easy egg on top, and I'm like, yep, I can die happy now.
Catherine, who asked for the MAD-LIB clip, said yes and thanks. Do the easy way out. Hey, working smarter, not harder, is what I try to do. Tech Alpaca, Doritos, Cheetos, corn chips, or Sun chips? Doritos.
Ooh. I really like Sun chips, though. Probably Doritos overall.
What kind of Sun chips do you like?
I like all except the original.
Me too. I really like what's the cheese one they have?
The cheese ones are okay, but the garden salsa ones are my favorite.
That's the best one.
Yeah, those are my favorite.
I'm gravitating back toward Cheetos for some reason. I eat them a lot when I'm snacky.
Let's see. Humble Clay, does this mean anyone who wants to shut cop-related media down can no longer play Rainbow Six Siege since all the characters in the game are from law enforcement? Maybe? I don't know.
Well, it seems like they're just talking about TV media, right? Because
Well, so it's like TV shows, movies that might be on deck that either talk about or quote unquote glorify police. There's a whole bunch of stuff I've been reading today about how far this purge, this censorship is going to go. So we'll see, I guess. Alpha Mega, I saw The Hunt for Red October on TV today. Isn't that one of your favorites, Scribe?
one of your favorites, he said.
One? You mean the greatest movie ever made? Yeah, duh. No, yeah, no, I love that movie.
You know, in regards to what you just said previously, Scribe, about the about the getting rid of the police or whatever, somebody had said over on Twitter something to the effect of there seems to be a subset of people in this world who thinks that there's some hidden cult of criminals just waiting for the cops to be defunded so they can go out and wreak havoc. These people are ridiculous and you shouldn't listen to them. And I'm just like, make sure you leave your door unlocked once this happens.
Well, you know, I do think there's people out there who genuinely believe this bullshit.
Sure.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
I just think criminals are sitting there going, oh, yes, please do it. Please.
Mm-hmm.
Frosted Glass, not counting Tom Jane, who would be your dream casting for the Punisher? Well, you'd have to go back in time, but I would say if I wanted a good actor who could also pull off the whole deal, I'd say young Tom Berenger. You get Tom Berenger playing Frank Castle back in the day, that'd be a good choice in my book. He could pull it off.
Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus as Lady Punisher.
No, it's Punisher.
Well, there is a character called Lady Punisher.
Yeah, I know, but we're talking about the Punisher.
You want Miley Cyrus playing Frank Castle or another character?
No, Frank Castle. She played Hannah Montana, man. She pulled that shit off well. Nobody knew that was her.
Right. Cryptic, thank you so much. What color is the wind? Blue.
I came in like some white male rage.
Red Dirt Runner, if y'all could fix one thing in your past, what would it be?
Ooh.
Oh.
One thing? Good God.
Just one, huh?
I mean, there's at least I wish I could fix the. There's one relationship that I should have known. Actually, well, I did know early on was a bad idea, but you know, love is blind, as they say. That I would fix. I'd say there's nothing beneficial came from that particular relationship, even in sort of like the, oh, I can at least look back and learn a lesson from. No, it was just a completely waste of a year and heartache. I wish I could take that one back.
Yeah, I hesitate to say that I wish it didn't happen because at now where I am today, it's like, all right, a lot of things happened during this that made me the person I am. So whatever. Mm-hmm. But if I did have a chance and to go back or whatever to not move to Wisconsin when I did, oh boy, you better believe I'd be like, you motherfucker, I will literally shoot you right now. Like, you better not. Don't you fucking do it. But you know, right now where I am today, I don't think I could say with confidence that I would undo it because, you know, I am who I am now because of it.
Monkey.
May 12, 2001, I would not go to work.
Oh, yeah, shit. Michelle?
If I had to pick one thing, I would say just maybe sticking up for myself more in school. I was such a pushover, and that caused me to get picked on more. And I would have a lot less unresolved frustration about stupid little things had I at least like gotten in the last word and stuck up for myself. Probably something silly like that, I think.
Motto Winter. Oh, lords, would y'all try a salad? Okay, so I'm envisioning salad now with smoked salmon.
Oh.
Okay. Cherry tomatoes and a ladle of ranch, a slice of toasted oat bread, and a glass of brandy.
You put Fritz on that shit.
The smoked salmon's a little odd for a salad, but doesn't necessarily sound terrible. I mean, I've had chicken salad and that kind of thing before, or a turkey salad. So sure.
I'd try it. I'd be like, all right, whatever.
Michelle?
Yeah, I'd try it. I'm not a big fan of salmon, but I'll try anything once.
I do like smoked salmon. That's the only reason I'm like, I can do that. And then Chat, thank you, Cryptic. Minneapolis City is disbanding the police, so now it's just Mini City. Oh. Ha 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 ha. Michael Garrick, what is your favorite chicken McNugget dipping sauce? The barbecue.
I do love the barbecue, but mine is quickly becoming the sweet and sour.
That's also good.
That's good if you double dip it.
I like McDonald's buffalo sauce.
I like buffalo sauce.
I don't like Burger King's though. Their buffalo sauce tastes like ass. I don't know what the fuck they do to it, but it's gross.
I'm sorry, I stepped on you. What'd you say there, Michelle?
Okay, probably just barbecue. I do like places with honey mustard. I'm always that annoying lady who yells, "Do you have honey mustard?" when they don't list it. They're like, "No," and then I'm sad.
Did you read it? No.
Beth Castleman says had seen the trailer for the new Bill and Ted movie. It looks interesting. Yeah, I enjoyed it in the sense that it was pretty much what I expected. A lot of people were like, "Oh my god, they're totally ruining the series," and like somebody, I forget who it was, like, they're screwing up the story. Like it's Bill and Ted. We're not talking about they were silly movies to begin with, and that was their charm. This looks like a silly movie, and like I was saying before the stream. There are some franchises where I could understand, even if it's a franchise I don't watch, I could understand someone being miffed about, diversions from canon or something else. Sure, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, on and on. But Bill and Ted, oh yeah, like I said, the deep and concrete lore of Bill and Ted is being besmirched by this thing. And gee, why are Keanu Reeves and why are they acting like teenagers again? Like, it's the characters they're playing. That's the joke. But I'm looking forward to it. I didn't see anything that turned me off completely from it. Did you guys see it? And what'd you think?
I saw it, and I'm one of those fans who's like, don't fuck it up, because as goofy as they were, I still like that they had lore.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, just as long as it's fun, I don't care.
Yeah. I've never seen any of the movies all the way through anyway, so I don't have a stake in this.
Yeah, I have not seen the trailer for the new one yet.
Yeah, I'm just glad they got back Bill Sadler as the Grim Reaper, and there will have to be some kind of subplot about Rufus in some way, shape, or form. There's going to be something in there about Rufus, which I'm looking forward to too, because there should be a nice memorial to Carlin on that one. Let's see, Dr. No Scribe Light, was Joe Exotic set up by Jeff Lowe to get arrested? If you listen to those phone conversations, sure sounds like it, doesn't it? But but I guess Jeff Lowe, if I remember correctly, has a whole bunch of problems of his own coming his way, so we'll see. Pirates Creed, Scribe, red hair mermaid or red hair succubus, the kind with the goat legs. Oh. Because there's really, I wouldn't have to try to breathe underwater with the one, so if those are my only options, I guess I go for the succubus.
Just keep your time limited.
Yeah.
You look at it and say, suck it.
Are they the hairy goat legs or just like the human legs shaped like goat legs kind of thing?
You could just make her wear leggings or something and pretend it's not happening. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. Dom O'Leary, Lords of the Night, if you had to, would you rather suck Biden's toe or kiss a hobo's hole?
Hole?
Ew.
Dude, where do you come up with this shit?
Yeah, what do you do in your free? No, I take it. I don't want to know what you do in your free time. I don't know. That's fine.
That ain't fine. That's wrong, man. What are you talking about?
Frosted Glass, was the Lady Punisher Muslim? They allow that, don't they? No, she was a blonde lady. Her name was Lynn Michaels. Why the heck? I swear to God, I didn't remember that until that was crazy that I remember that. Yeah, no, there was she was a cop, and I think her partner got killed, but she was also having an affair with him at the time when he got killed, and so she went a little revenge crazy and started doing some stuff, and then she crossed paths with the Punisher because the people who killed her partner, I think it was somebody he was also after, and then so it was an interesting story. That was out of the 90s, when you have a woman running around with guns being a murderer of criminals and things. Let's see. Attack Alpaca. I guess if we're talking Tiger King, did Carol Baskin kill her husband and feed him to the tigers, or is that so obvious it's not even worth asking anymore? He mysteriously disappeared, and she inherited everything that he had. You always go to motive and outcome, and it's awfully suspicious. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, I don't know what else to tell you.
I only got 2 words. Whacked him.
Yeah, there was no evidence of him going anywhere, just that he said he was going somewhere, and the only person that said that he was going somewhere was his wife, and then he suddenly vanishes off the face of the earth, never heard from, seen from again. Maybe he's now living in secret down in some island somewhere, even though his bank accounts were never touched or nothing. He had money hidden somewhere. Yeah, doesn't sound good. Dr. No, Chat Mort, who is your favorite hair metal band?
Oh, I'm not super into hair metal. I know. Can you count Claudio Sanchez's hair as hair of a metal band member? I like Coheed and Cambria. They're not really even metal. Never mind. Retract that entire answer. I don't know.
I don't even know who that is. I'm so lame. Let's see. Alpha Omega. How bad will the new Patterson Batman fail? I don't know that it's going to fail. Matt Reeves is an excellent director. He turned Planet of the Apes, the second movie in that series, into an amazingly good movie. I was really impressed with that movie, honestly. I wasn't going into it expecting a whole heck of a lot. And it was really good. It was really well done. His other work has been really impressive to me, too. So as a director, he's already got a little bit of my faith going into it. The cast is all over the place. You basically got like the 1960s version of guest stars as the villains, because every villain in that thing is some big name for the most part. Colin Farrell is going to play the Penguin, I think, which is going to be kind of kooky. So I haven't seen anything yet that makes me think it's going to outright fail. But who knows? We'll see. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
Nope.
No, it's Batman. It was just fine.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they don't look into Patterson's Twitter, I think we're okay. But let's see. Nothing for you here. Here's an easy one. What is your least favorite color? There was a building near where I grew up, and for most of my childhood, I don't have any other name for the color. It was like this really greenish mustard yellow color. It just looked like puke. I don't know if it's a shade of whatever color it was that can be recreated again in life, because it was sort of a combination of whatever color it was plus however many years it was sitting there under the sun. So, but it was the ugliest color, I think, in my memory. So a sort of a greenish mustard yellow thing, a little gray in there too. Ugh. Anyway, you guys got ideas?
Leslie Jones.
Bro.
Oh.
What?
Monkey, you trying to become famous? The next headline.
I ain't opposed to it.
I don't know, man. There are colors that I definitely look at and I'm just like, ugh, that's kind of gross. But off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything that I'm especially offended by when it comes to colors.
It was that one color of car that was around for a while in the late 90s. That yellow, ugly. I don't know. I think it was on. I think it was on Dodges. This was before we got that cool yellow that came out with Bumblebee. It was this ugly baby shit kind of yellow color, and I'm fairly certain the guy who first put that on a car is now homeless because he deserves to be.
Like sun bleached yellow.
Oh, it was fucking disgusting, man. And dealerships, they were having trouble selling those cars. Yeah, because it looks like a baby turd, man.
Yeah, I'd probably say yellow. I like weird, like neon, obnoxious highlighter yellow, but like as far as clothing or upholstery or nail polish or anything, I will never pick yellow ever.
Well, you're then kind of like the Green Lantern. He hates yellow too.
Well, yeah.
Let's see. Dr. No, Satsu 2 cents. What is Squeetus up to now? Well, she's learning how to throw a tantrum, apparently.
Yeah. Like I said, she's becoming a lot smarter and now realizing that there are things that she actually wants, you know, and instead of just taking whatever it is you give her, there are things she desires, and when she doesn't get them, she gets upset. But we've been teaching her how to eat things out of her own hands because that's been a thing that she just doesn't do. So we've been trying to teach her how to do that, and that's been going well because you just basically have to put something in her hand and like move her hand towards her mouth, and as long as it's there, like she'll eat whatever's in her hand. Outside of that, she took 2 steps today. But she don't like to walk. Like whenever you try to get her to walk, she gets very upset. She's like, "Stop it! Like leave me alone. I don't want to stand. Put me down."
Red Dirt Runner. How long till we have a Lord of the Rings sequels just like the Star Wars sequels? Well, you haven't heard about the Amazon Lord of the Rings or Middle Earth or whatever TV series they're making? They're spending like millions and millions of dollars to make a streaming series based around that stuff. I don't know if it's a sequel to the books, like what do they call it, the Silmarillion or whatever. I don't know how to say it. Or if it's some kind of like reboot from The Hobbit onward or something. I don't know exactly what the details are. I know that they're making it though, so that's about as close as you'll probably get. Original stream, Scribe Light, HBO Max pulls Gone with the Wind, too offensive and divisive. I could see it. Sure, why not? You know, anything that talks about an era where people did bad things that we consider bad now has got to be gone, you know. So next they'll be taking down 12 Years a Slave, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Gulf City Peterbilt says, I'm still waiting on Christine 2. Christine 2. I think one killer car movie is enough, isn't it? Well, don't worry. I think they're making From a Buick 8. So if you want to have another Stephen King car movie, From a Buick 8 is coming eventually, I think.
You guys find it interesting in regards to like the history thing? Like people will say stuff like, you know, we need to, you know, the schools aren't teaching about, you know, Black history or proper history or exactly how things are going on and it's all changing or whatever. But those same people are literally going around destroying history.
Yeah.
And saying that people shouldn't talk about it or it shouldn't be acknowledged or like it's typical. That's the word I'm looking for.
Thank you, Don Vitae Rex. Thoughts on War for the Planet of the Apes 2017? Now, I haven't seen that one yet. That's the one I haven't seen. I saw a clip like of the last fight or something, but I didn't see the whole movie, so I can't comment on it so much. I don't know if it improves upon or is as good as whatever the second movie was. I forget what it was all of a sudden, but either way.
I heard D-Ray was excellent.
Oh. Wow, Monkey.
It took me a second.
It didn't take me much. I was like, oh, Monkey, come on.
See, that one Monkey can't get in trouble for because he laid claim to that position on his own. So.
That is true. That is true.
And nobody was thinking about his ass. And he was just like, hey.
Actually, no, that's actually someone I'm surprised hasn't come up in the news yet. Or at least I haven't seen it. Although Al Sharpton invoked Colin Kaepernick getting a new job at the George Floyd funeral day. Did you see that?
Dude, that whole thing was like, if you ain't never seen a political fucking, what is the proper word I'm looking for?
A state funeral?
I guess they basically like this man's death. And when you look at his history and all that type of stuff, and you put all that stuff together, and you think about what took place at this funeral, you're like, oh my god, that is crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, well, looking at the clock, by the time I finish this, we'll be at the top of the hour, and thus the end of the show. So, guys, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today, as you always do.
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah, well, too late.
Yeah. Somebody asked D-Ray, as in who? It's D-Ray McKesson.
Yes.
Go look up D-Ray McKesson and Planet of the Apes. It's a great, funny story. I'm sorry, Scribbles. I just saw that and wanted to give them,
You want to do context? You want to? We can't do context here. Didn't you hear the YouTube guy?
I know these things.
Yeah. Apparently, Jack Gunsky is having Quippers United tonight. If that's your thing, you can go over there and look at that, I guess. Michelle, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. It's nice being on.
Is there anything you'd like to plug that has upcoming for you or anything?
Not really. You can watch Magog of Morscar live streams if you want. That channel has side quest, and that's neat. It's a disaster, but a charming one. And subscribe to my channel if you want. And that's all.
Yep. Michelle's information, her YouTube channel and her Twitter handle are in the description below. Should be the first things popping up. Let's see. Anything else to mention before we go? Monkey and Satsu.
No.
I'm going to be doing a Monkey in the Morning sometime pretty soon.
That's as definite as it gets. And remember, guys, per usual, tomorrow night we'll be on Monkey's channel at the regular time for Lords of the Night. Other than that, again, everyone, thank you for joining us tonight. You guys really are the best audience in the world. If the MAD-LIB itself isn't proof enough, I don't know what is. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things. Even though everyone here is so well behaved, you guys have very little to do. Everyone who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. I really do appreciate it. It'll all go towards horrible things I'll put in my body, like the pepper jacks I need to get through TEDx's. And I'm not kidding sometimes. But with that, Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me.
Indeed.
Michelle, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone, your lives make us sad, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
This is where you say goodbye, Michelle.
Goodbye.
And now I have my copy of Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, the romance and sexual sorcery of sadomasochism.
Sadomasochism.
Suck
it. Do you want some pom-poms with that one? And today's secret word is...
Please say suck. Please say suck.
Semen.
Damn it.
Oh.
Close.
Except it's spelled here S-E-A-M-E-N. Because it's actually referencing... It's talking about the origin of the cat o' nine tails and how it was used by British Royal Navy officers to punish seamen. So actual Navy personnel, not the bodily fluid, both in context and in spelling. So educational, that's what we like to do here when it comes to sadomasochism.